Hey everybody, Brad Linder back at you on this glorious, chilly Sunday evening, and going to be drawing Spider Ham. Going to be sharing this over with the page real quick, and then we're going to go for it. So bear with me just a second while I refresh the page and share it over with everybody. Facebook is being just a little bit slow. It's the weekend. I forgive you. It's okay. So now that we got that going, we are all right. Oh, let's see. Randy, Barry, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So let's see what I can do with this guy. I've got him jumping out of, as you can see, I've got him jumping out of a window. I hope you guys can see that. There's the building edge right there. He's jumping like out of an office building. And there's some explosion going on, some glass and some stuff. There's a goldfish right in here, or a beta right in here. I hadn't decided which way I want to go with it. There's the fish bowl. There's a picture of someone's family stuff right here. There's a couple of bricks and whatnot. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. I just wanted to knock this out and do something different with it so you guys can see a little diversity. But, yeah, I've been working on, got a little reveal for everybody. I've been working on Lone Rider for so long, I didn't tell anybody this until I was ready to do it. And I was working on Catman Evolution number 4 through 7 altogether. I added number 7 in the mix there while I was doing it, and because I wanted to run 6 into 2 parts, and got it done. And we are now working on the inks for that. I am finishing up the pencils on 7 this weekend, tonight and tomorrow, for the early part of this week, and then I will be doing the webcomic, the infamous webcomic that I've been talking about for the last month or two. Now I will be revealing all of that stuff at the later part of this week. So you guys be prepared, because that's going to be really cool. Everybody's been asking me about the Catman stuff, because you know the books sell on my website as well as on Amazon, and everybody's been asking me, it's like, when are they going to come back? It's been around forever. Well, I apologize for that. Everybody except Lewis, my inker, had moved on to different projects across the board, and I had to take on all those chores myself because of the fact that I wanted a certain look for the book, and we didn't have time to cross all of that off the list, so I did it myself over time, and I knocked out, in the same time that we normally would do an issue, I ended up doing 3 or 4 of them. So 4 books. Yeah, 4. I can count. I swear I can. So, yeah, with that said, just wanted to let you guys know that we do have a few comics coming out, and early 2018 is going to be really, really, really busy here in the next month or so, and we're going to have a lot of material coming out. And I've got some more people working with me on a couple of projects and things like that, and it's going to be really cool. I've upped the scale again and gotten back into full-time production and gotten away from a lot of the freelance stuff that was holding me back. Not that it was holding me back, you know, just by evil people or anything. It was just holding me back because of the fact it was too time constraining on my schedule, and I was not producing quite as much as I could be and as fast as I wanted to. So I finished up those projects finally, and those are going out to those people. So I'm very pleased and happy with that, to have those off the table and then have those wonderful projects come to light and publication over the next couple of weeks and months. So with that said, you guys, Firestorm Comics is about to get the new the reboot and revamp finally for the website. I got all that coded and got in the new service system so that we can get all of that going on, and got some drastic changes in the title lineup for this. So it's going to be a blast. And like I said, I'm not trying to solicit anything. If you guys check it out, I appreciate it. But if you don't, that's okay too. It'll see who is supposed to see, and who's supposed to see it will see it as well. I'm cool with that. But just answering a couple of questions real quick because I got asked about it, and I was like, okay, I'll say something, to let you guys know what's up, and go from there. But yeah, it's going to be a busy, busy, busy year production wise. It's going to look like everything just came out of nowhere, and you guys are going to be screaming at me, "Hey man, where'd all this stuff come from? How'd you do all this?" And I'm going to have to tell you, I've been working on it for a year, so hate to bust the magic bubble, but reality is I've been working hard this year. So that's why I haven't done any shows or anything. I'm staying behind the scenes and drilling this out, as well as doing these funky monkey cards for you guys every single day right here on this show. Been taking liberties on Facebook and on YouTube and on the social media. The other social medias out there owns the Twitter and the Facebook. So knocking this bad boy out and forming up one of my favorite Marvel characters. And believe it or not, it's tough because this is a parody. It is so tough to like this guy because it's supposed to make fun of Spider-Man. But the funny thing about it is some of the stories are actually better in this book. And it's because of the fact that they play him off serious. And, unlike The Tick or anything like that, which is supposed to be parodies of other things as well. And it's, that's a great series and a great book. Don't get me wrong. I love The Tick. But creatively, it's kind of a flop for me because of the fact that I dig parodies like this that play out as serious media, and that or as a serious storyline, and that just really cracks me up because it makes it funnier. So when you see like the Green Gobbler and the Hobgobbler and whatnot, those guys are birds, turkeys, and things like that. It's crazy, crazy stuff. If you don't know about this character, for one, shame on you, I'm taking your Marvel card away. But two, this is a character that is not new for the Spider-Verse people. I got so many kids when I said I was going to do this. I got so many young people popping on and saying that this, is from the Spider-Verse. Wow, that's the Spider-Ham from the Spider-Verse and from the Sensational Spider-Man. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to have to take away your comic card. What a disappointment. Please don't do that. This character's been around longer than most of you have. Okay, this character's been around for a while. Many, many moons. And, yeah, please don't do that. Please don't do that because we take that personal as, the guys that grew up with it and whatnot. Yeah. But it's all good nonetheless. But still, quit that. It's not from that. It's not from Spider-Verse. It's not from, the cartoon series that just came out last month. It's not from the cartoon books that came out, 2 months ago. It's not from last year. It's been around for ages. Most of what you're seeing being reformatted by Disney is being reconstituted into a new dry Disney universe. Okay, it's the Disney Marvel type of universe, and it's not what you think it is with all of the stuff going on. Of course, I'm not going on a tangent busting on Disney or anything. I'm just saying what you guys keep saying is new material, has been around for ages. And I see that all the time, and it's just, I don't know. There's no legacy to comics anymore as far as what everybody just grabs onto. And I'm not saying it's ageism by any means because of the fact that, I'm not You know, I'm 41 years old, and it's not something that I've just come into age with. You know, because a lot of kids say, well, you're just old now and you're mad. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm paying respect to the fact of all of the work that the guys before me did. There's a difference, okay? Understand that, because it's true. It's wholeheartedly true. It's a respect thing to the legacy of the comics, and to belittle that and say that you guys don't know what's going on, you know, with comics that are coming out now, that's what's disrespectful. Okay, that's what's disappointing and disrespectful, because no one's studying comics anymore. Everybody wants to see this stuff, and if it doesn't hit the big screen, you guys don't know about it, and it's really sad. I mean, not because of the fact that, you know, you're not putting in the effort or anything. It's just because you don't know. You know, I saw a guy come in the other day to the comic shop, and he thought that Supernatural had been around, you know, for a long time. And he said, well, you know, they're in season 13 now. And I said, yeah, I see that. And he's like, well, you know, that's a long time, man. Those guys are getting old. And I was like, what? You know, it's just odd the way that things play out in perspective of people with extreme youth, and then people that don't have an understanding of what's going on with, you know, how age plays out. Because, I mean, 12 years is not long. 12 years is baby steps. You know, like I said, that's something that I've been around for a while now, and it's just, yeah, it's baby step stuff in comparison. And as you get older, you'll find that out too. And, you know, you'll see all this new material coming out, and it'll be probably recycled stuff from Marvel on the Disney platform or whatever. Because, you know, I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but you'll see a bunch of stuff coming back out and get recycled because of the fact that, you know, Disney is about to start doing that on their digital platform. Everybody's worried about Disney going away. I'm going to make a prediction right now, and you guys will be the first ones to hear it. As of 2019, when they dissolve the Disney print books, you watch. I'm willing to bet money on it right now that Disney is going to go digital and switch over to the Marvel Unlimited comic platform, because they're about to raise their prices in 2019, and they're not scheduling any new releases. But yet you tell me why they're going to go subscription service and they're going to go in 2019, they're raising their prices. The reason they're doing that is because they're going to put their comics as digital comics or e-comics on that platform. They're also talking about taking down Disney XD off the cable access and putting it with all of their shows on the new ABC Disney XD platform, which is going to be interesting. So I don't know how they're going to do that yet without taking everything down, but we're going to see. It's going to make for interesting conversation and interesting television, to say the least, because I see that as a bad move, because they're going to seriously damage their merchandise flow, because I don't see moms and dads being able to afford $50 a pop per account, because they don't allow group or family accounts and subscriptions. I don't see them being able to do that and surviving in the way that they did with their merchandise going for the kids. I just don't see it. And I'm hoping that they have something up their sleeve that's going to be really cool and interesting in the 2019 upgrade. But I don't know. As of this point, I'm saying right now, I'm calling it that Disney is going to pull off all the Marvel stuff, and they're going to go Marvel Unlimited for that access, and then you're going to have to mess with all that that service to get everything you want for your typical Marvel and Disney XD cartoon type of feeds. So be aware of it. Be aware of it. It's going to happen. Something big is going to happen there. And, you know, I don't think they're closing the line. I think they're going to jump in and they're going to say, well, you know, this is our surprise. Because the track record's just showing, you know, and I do business projections all the time. Okay, and I'm hoping that I'm right on this one because I haven't missed with Disney yet since they started back in '98 with Marvel's rampaging muck of selling off every property they have, and anything from Blade to Lionsgate, which was the major first superhero film series for Marvel. You know, everybody talks about Spider-Man coming out for Sony and the Fantastic Four coming out from Fox and the movies coming out in 2000 for, the Fantastic Four and whatnot. And I'm sorry, that's not the original run. Now, the original Disney run is, of course, you had the first Iron Man and all that, which has started the Disney Marvel movement, which that's totally fine. But to say that a Marvel movie wasn't successful up to that point is completely incorrect. Because the Blade Trinity movies, Blade 2, and Blade Trinity were all phenomenal films, and they made the movies R-rated, and even Trinity went to unrated and NC-17, so it got pretty racy there for a bit. And I mean, it didn't show anything, that too harsh, but it was all about the language. And people didn't realize that those films were Marvel creations, and I was just lost when people did. I was like, "What? Seriously? You didn't know that was a Marvel product? That doesn't make any sense." But Lionsgate never presented it as a Marvel film, except for honorable mention that it was created by the Marvel creators, Wolfman and whatnot. And other than that, it was just left wide open, and I was like, this is ridiculous that this is left unrecognized this way as one of the first successful Marvel films. And just take into consideration what you see, because Jason Momoa was planned to not play Aquaman, but play Eric Draven in the Crow reboot. And he was listed on the cast for the longest time. I don't know if he's still involved or not, and I don't want to say that if he is or not because I'm not sure, and I don't want to put that label on there just in case he's changed up to Aquaman permanently, at least until the contract's up. But he was going to replay be Eric Draven in the reboot, and I found that highly fascinating that he was involved in that, and everybody was like, "The Crow's awesome!" Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna see Eric Draven come back." Well, what do you mean back? The fact that everybody doesn't remember, most current kids don't remember the early '90s film of The Crow with Brandon Lee, where he died, which is Bruce Lee's son. If you don't know who he is. He died on set in an accident during one of the stunts, and the fact that people don't know who that is just makes me sad. I mean, it was 93 or 94, but and again, I say, most of these characters were created before you were born, so I find that highly fascinating that people don't have the cultural bind to comics that they used to have. My generation grew up with comics. And it's just one of those things where they were regular. I was a late 70s, early 80s kid. Sorry, I had something hit my arm there, and I don't know what it was. I don't know where it went either. But anyway, now that I'm back from my distraction, what I was going to say was I was a 70s and 80s kid. I was born in the late 70s, and what ends up happening is all the 80s kids were in the prime of comic books. That was the major threshold where everybody got rebooted, from the late 70s X-Men reboot. And I tell you, it's just crazy how people just don't know common things anymore about the legacy of comics. And, like this Kirkman thing coming out, everybody's like, wow, I never knew that about Jack Kirby. I didn't even know that this person was, or that person was, or this character was. And I'm like, really? This is old news for me. And it's not that you guys, it's not, I'm saying that I know more than you do by any means. What I'm saying is that nobody digs into it as an interest for themselves anymore. Because I used to take interest in that because of the fact that I cared about the creators and I cared about the books and I cared about the characters. And I just find it, I always find it tough to see that, the legacy of these very hardworking people across the board just aren't getting the respect and remembrance that they deserve for the legacy of their artwork and the creations that they put in, and the books that they've been building on for decades and decades and decades are now pretty much just revamped, rebooted, or scrapped completely. And that's disturbing to me. And, that's part of why I started Firestorm. If you notice, my Firestorm logo, my emblem for that, is a phoenix. And the reason for that is because all the comics are raising from the ashes. The reason for that is because the origin story of Firestorm Comics, which is all about the returning legacy. Sorry, I'm adjusting and cracking on my throat drop here. There is a return of the legacy of comics, that I'm after. And some of them are revamped. Some of them are revamped Golden Age characters. Some of them are original properties that I've created. All of them were created by me anyway, but, in their current incarnations. But there are a lot of them that are, the public domain type characters that I've revamped over the years and built into the universe. And I started this universe from the ground up. And by that, I mean, I destroyed the current universe that these characters were in. And as we know it as our current world, reset it. And that's what Firestorm Origins is about. And there's a lot of homage and respect for the characters in their original forms because of the fact that I kept all of the original stories and not rehashing them modernly. But what I mean by that is I kept the original stories and kept them as past history and just modified the origin of, when the characters are prime, because the Golden Age version gives it instant legacy, and that's the way it works, and that's the way I wanted to pay respect and collect some of those other characters and titles and things that I wanted in the timeline to build that up. And a lot of people don't dig that very much because of the fact that they don't realize, well, why do an old character this way or that way? And you'll see artists and writers and creators come up. There's a company right now that just redid the Fighting American, and they have him time lapsed, and whatnot. And I haven't read the book yet because it's just about to come out. But from what I've read, it seems really, really cool. However, this is one of those rare things where so many people have done so many versions of that character, which I have one in Firestorm as well. I have a Fighting American version in Firestorm as well. And a lot of people are saying, well, that's great to see that character. Where'd he come from? Blah, 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 blah. And they have no clue who this guy is. And they have no recollection of the history behind the character. And it's, like I said, it's just a sad, sad point, man. I want to reintroduce a lot of those characters to people through Firestorm and through other projects that I'm doing because of that fact right there. Because they just don't have it anymore. And I see that a lot. And with this new Disney Marvel movement into the digital plane, man, I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't trash it. And like I said, with all the classic animation they're doing now, the old 40s and 50s and 60s style animation with a digital production twist and grade to it, like the new, if you want to see what they're doing in the comics, check them out. Especially like Guardians of the Galaxy, and you'll see what I mean. And Captain America and Thor together, the first Avengers. That book is a reflection of what I'm talking about. And the artistic style, they're trying to make them look vintage and take them back to the golden age. And the thing is that doesn't work anymore with the way that they've done it. So, I have a big problem with that, and I'm trying to figure out what all that's going to mean for the Disney current universe, or the Marvel Disney current universe, because they've washed it down. They've whitewashed it down so badly right now that kids aren't resonating with it anymore. And that's a great concern for me as a comic creator. So, I'm going to have to see what I can do about that and help you guys out with ramping that up. But there's a huge mess going on right now with the way comics are going out and being almost starved out of the industry within themselves. So be sure to collect comics. If you're not collecting, collect and check that stuff out. But don't buy Marvel and DC just to buy Marvel and DC. Buy other stuff too. Buy independent stuff. I mean, if you like it and read it, buy it. I'm not saying boycott them by any means. I'm just saying that's my prediction. I think that they're going to go left field and go off of that app, and it's going to be what we see more of with the digital stuff. And if they go digital, it's going to be horrible. It really is. It's going to be horrible. It's not going to be our classic Marvel by any means. And readers my age are going to be very disappointed with it. And I just have a bad feeling that that's the way they're going to go. Trying to see what I want to do with these windows here. I want to leave them open or scale them out. But anyway, enough about the digital stuff from Disney, because I know that's where that's going. And I'm going to tell you guys, hands down, I think that's where we need to start watching the unlimited platform. Let me stereotype in all this Marvel stuff, and it's just, that's exactly where I'm headed with it. It's been stereotyped so badly to where it's just getting flat and flat and flat and flat and flat, and that's where the copy is leading. But when I say I'm copywriting it down, when I'm saying I'm flattening it down, what I mean is that the Disney stuff has been so overworked down into that flat animated golden age style. It's just a bad thing all across the board. But I just got told that they can hear it in my voice that I'm sad about it. Well, I'll chip her up, because I'm not I don't mean to get all bent about it, because that's not what I'm saying. That's funny. It's like, you sound so sad. That's awesome. Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not down in the dumps or anything. It's just, it's frustrating to me as a creator. I love this industry, and I love marketing and comics. That's my two industry divide there. I love marketing, digital marketing. I love the internet stuff. And then I love comic books, and that's my life passion. And to have to deal with that is just horrible in this way. So that's why it's so frustrating, and that's why it's like that. But, take what I say with a grain of salt. I mean, pick your own books and your own vices and your own line. But understand, I'm putting out that prediction right now wholeheartedly that they are going to go digital on that platform. You just watch. You just watch. It'll happen. It will happen. Now, I'm going to kind of leave this open, because I like him to be a bright and cartoony style. So I'm going to put in a shadow or two right underneath, and then I'm going to leave that alone, because I don't want to go muddying it up, because this one has an animated style to it, so it's open. Okay, that's why I'm drawing in the webbing very lightly instead of detailing it out like I would a Spider-Man, you know, and heavily fleshing that out. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down here and connect that underside of that leg. And then right here, put a little mark right here for under the knee. And put the knee on this side. Kirby squiggle. There it is. There it is. The infamous Kirby squiggle for the outside of that knee right there. Now we got the underside of that knee, underside of that knee. We've got the legs. And I'm going to put in a little bit underneath this rib cage right here to make it pop. And when you're drawing Spider-Ham, be sure to curve these things out. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of artistic feedback on this one. Check it out, okay? Be sure and curve these things. Never, never, never use points on Spider-Ham except for on the bottom of his nose and the square boxed on marks on his ears. Because this is a flat line under here. It doesn't round out like a pig snout. It flattens out right there, and it flattens out on top. But make those very vibrant and very curved and very animated. And then on your shadows, always round them out. Never point the tips, because see how blunt I did that? If you ever point that out, you'll make him look really, really sharp, and it'll take away the curve of whatever you're drawing on. It'll take away the curve of his muscles. So don't do that. But just a little FYI there. And that's the shoulder right there in the crease of that water. So I want it to look a little different, a little off. I don't want that line to go straight into that other one, because then it'll make it look like it's running behind there and it'll make it look weird. Now this fish is going to stay right in here. And with traditional cartoon style or animated style, I'm going to go in and put in these fins here a little heavier and round him out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this open for color. Because if I go in and put in a bunch of stuff underneath this, what's going to happen is it's going to make it look washed out. So I'm going to leave that fish open, and it'll just be bright, solid color. So just letting you guys know that. Now I think what we've got here is a pretty solid final piece. Putting in a little more fire and smoke behind him for that explosion. And I think we've got him done here, other than one or two more dark spots, which we'll need, like right here, just to kind of contrast everything. I'm going to put in a shadow or two here and there to make that kind of come out like it needs to. There we go. Because I wanted that to, like I said, I want that to contrast just a little bit with that smoke coming out of there. I want to put that flame right here. That way that pops it out just a little bit more. But now that we have contrast everywhere where we need it, I think we're good to go. I'm going to call it done for now. And like I said, I hope I didn't bore anybody to death. But, oh, man. See, hey, Ken, appreciate you stopping by, man. Now, see, Alfred, I know you guys can't see this on YouTube whenever I post it. I know you guys can't see Alfred's comments. The dude said that he's got the whole collection, for one, which I know he does, and it's awesome. For two, he mentioned now all I need to do is make the Captain America cat. That's Captain Americat by actual name. And then you have the second part of it, which is the Hulk Bunny, which I love that character. Love it. As I mentioned in the beginning of the pod, as I mentioned in the beginning here of my podcast coming up this week, I'm going to be showing a lot of these things in the sketchbook, and I'm going to give a lot more detail on, the behind-the-scenes stuff, which I've been taking snippets and things and showing some of the coloring and inking for these. So you guys will get to see extra characters laying around that I didn't show yet, that I showed to put with these for the book, and that I've done in other things, other snippets and stuff. So maybe you guys will get to pick up on that. But yeah, as far as the Marvel thing goes, I definitely am disappointed with it. I have to play it out and see how it goes. I'm always going to be a fan, and I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I said earlier as me not being one, because I am. It's just being in this industry, it's very um, hit and miss right now and very dry. So we're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do, and see how they go. But that's just one of those things. But anyway, until tomorrow, I will be drawing Wasp for Monday. We are talking classic Silver Age Wasp from the original Avengers. We're not talking the new one from the Ant-Man film, which I dig her, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not going to be drawing that one. It will be, oops, I forgot to do the nose there. But it will be the original Wasp, so you guys will have no problem there. It will be Janet. Let's see here. I'm going to put in a couple of these. There we go. Cool. That's going to round him out. I just wanted to round out that nose a little bit. But anyway, Wasp tomorrow. And for Tuesday, I think I'm going to lead into something special. I'm going to hold on to that one because I haven't decided which way I want to go yet. I've got 2 sets coming up that'll round out the week, and I want to see which one I want to go with first, and I'm going to surprise you guys with that. Hope you dug the Grinch yesterday. That was awesome. That was fun. If you didn't get to see it, there you go. Quick look. So that one's on there, and then now we've got Spider-Ham. So I'm gonna get ready for The Walking Dead coming up. I'm gonna get off here and enjoy the rest of the Sunday evening, and we're gonna make some dinner and watch The Walking Dead, and then I'm gonna be back at it tonight working on some more comic stuff, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.